Chapter 11. Is acceptance necessary? I used to think that acceptance was something I had to practice in order to move on with my life. Apparently, according to many spiritual teachers, my issues in life were caused by non acceptance. Whatever happened, I had to learn to accept it before I could move past it. So I now had another thing to add to my to do list in order to live a happy life. I had to accept the things I couldn't change. And yet, here too, I reached a point where I realized, just as I did with forgiveness, that if I'm experiencing life through my own thinking, acceptance isn't necessary. For example, if I had to accept my parents as they were in order to be at peace with that relationship, it implied that my parents were in some way causing me to not feel at peace. Here again, there seemed to be an underlying assumption that people or things had the power to make me feel bad, unhappy, or upset, and the best I could do was accept things just as they were. Then, finally, I could move on, despite these other people or circumstances. What if this is all backwards? What if nothing, whether it's my parents, boss, bank balance, or something else, has the power to make me feel anything? If nothing can make me feel good or bad, then I bypass the need for acceptance. Acceptance is only necessary if we give circumstances or other people the power to make us feel anything. Also, why is it that we only seem to need to accept things that are bad? We don't say that we need to accept we are falling in love. We don't say I need to accept this circumstance of going on holiday. I've never had to accept my happy, positive, or joyful emotions. Some people say we need to accept our negative feelings or we will end up repressing them. However, we only repress emotions and feelings if we think we shouldn't be having them. If we see that we don't get to control our thinking, that we don't choose what thoughts pop up in a split second, then we will feel a full range of emotions and there is nothing to do about it. Often trying to do something about a feeling we have reinforces it rather than allowing it to pass naturally. Once I stopped trying to accept things I experienced, a wonderful side effect. I saw circumstances and people in my life differently. I started to deeply appreciate my family and stopped trying to change or accept them. I started to see that the times where I was not thinking clearly were times when I contributed to a less than smooth relationship with other family members. I also saw that any negative feelings didn't hang around for as long as they used to. Prior to understanding about the thought feeling connection, I would ruminate for days over something someone had said to me. I'd play out scenarios in my head of how I could have made a clever comeback. However, because I stopped trying to change my feelings, the negative feelings would often pass quite quickly. I also started to see opportunities everywhere. For example, I realized I could have much deeper relationships with everyone in my life, even with people I had struggled to simply be around in the past. Imagine how your life could shift if you didn't need to change or accept others in order to feel better. Imagine how your life could shift if you didn't need to change your circumstances in order to feel better. What if you didn't need to process or accept any negative feelings you were having? Acceptance is another thing you can cross off your to do list. Simply carry on and enjoy life. That's a lovely last sentence, isn't it? Simply carry on and enjoy life. I think sometimes we can get so caught in fixing, trying to fix our thoughts, trying to fix our feelings, worrying about the way we think, worrying about the way we feel, that we can forget that simple instruction at the end to just enjoy life. A few weeks back, um, I started to wonder what it would be like if the only thing I paid much attention to was how much of a really nice feeling I was living in. Now, by that, I don't mean trying to do things that would make me happy. That would be, as I'm sure you're getting the hang of by now, just riddled with misunderstanding. Essentially, what I was doing was seeing just how great I could feel regardless of what I was doing. I think of it as the causeless joy project. I could be in a great feeling for no particular reason whatsoever. And it's been really interesting testing that out, looking at areas where I can see that clearly and areas where that looks hidden. So you might like to consider an experiment like that for yourself. What would happen, for example, with the new year coming up, if your only resolution was to really enjoy your life? Not necessarily to do things that you think would make you happy, but just literally to enjoy your life exactly as it was. Let me know what you think about that. See you on the next video.